All right. Okay. I've been meaning to do this like for 2 hours, and I finally have gotten to it in a moment. And I'm gonna get rid of myself here. I'm gonna go full screen this. So I came across this. I'm not gonna, as previously I've done things when I've replayed other people's videos. I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna kind of skip and dip through this because I had a completely different video plan for the day, and then I saw this a few hours ago, and it's like, okay, I this is unbelievable. So I have some old computers that I haven't done anything with. I don't know if I have any EISA. As you see here, these are EISA cards. I don't know if I have anything that old, but I've got some old stuff lying about, and been kind of wanting to kind of get into a little bit of the older computing. What do they call nostalgic computing? Kind of like LGR does, but not to his level. All right, I don't have that kind of space, but I do have a few machines. And then, yeah, there was an old 286 clone that my brother gave away years ago that I'm still upset about. It's been 30 years. My parents had an NEC machine that had a Visa local bus, and actually, I started getting stuff off eBay a while. This has been almost 20 years ago, but I upgraded that. Got a Pentium, a 46 pen compatible, 46DX pen compatible Pentium upgrade for them. My uncle eventually replaced it with something that was a heck of a lot slower. I don't know why he did that, but then they eventually went to Mac. I don't know whatever happened to that machine. I had to ask him. I doubt they have it anymore, but it had Visa Local Bus for video and had EISA for things like sound card and stuff. What intrigues me about this is mentioned in the video, and you might be wondering, who cares? I'm going to back up a little bit, but this is what really freaked me out is this, trying to get drivers for these old, because there are MS-DOS clones that I've seen out there for this retro computing. That's the word I'm looking for. But finding drivers can be difficult. It can also be dangerous. You'll find drivers that have all kinds of viruses and stuff in them for DOS, and it can really ruin your day. But this thing is unbelievable. So this is a universal diagnostic utility. But essentially what it does is it enables the card for any of those cards. So I had all those different manufacturers, all those 16-bit EISA cards, and this thing can do, or at least claims to do, for all of them. So that's what it's here. So this is what I'm talking about. Is this is the universal sound card enabler for DOS. This is unbelievable, and I'm gonna have links to everything below. But this is awesome. I mean, like I said, I've been thinking about doing retro computing. I've been thinking about, there's like FreeDOS, there's some other stuff out there. I don't know if I'd ever do videos for it. In particular, I would really like to play the original Diablo game again, and find the character editor. I mean, I defeated it several times years and years ago, and then I got rid of it one day. Well, it's been, I don't know, 10 plus 15 years. I got rid of a bunch of stuff over like a 6-month period, and now I kind of wish I hadn't got rid of some of it. Now, a lot of it I'm glad I got rid of. In fact, I got rid of old computer hardware yesterday that I didn't need anymore. So with because the intent is, there's a couple experiments I've been wanting to do with the character editor. One thing I noticed about the original Diablo is that the trash mobs do scale with your character, but the bosses don't. So I wanted to do some experiments with that. I mean, eventually you just one hit Diablo and he's dead, but all the trash will just run you all over the place. And I wanted to do some experiments with that, but that's what, we'll see. It's not a high priority. It's just kind of an idea at the back of my head. And this was the MS-DOS starter pack. There's the old MS-DOS games require various memory configurations. And I remember these days. I mean, I used to have multiple boot floppies for some things. Even with a hard drive, you'd have a DOS boot. It's all it would be on there was DOS, and whatever goofy drivers you needed. OS2 made this really nice, because I actually used to play games inside of OS2, and it would read your boot disk and then set up a virtual machine using that disk. So it would read it, it would make an image of it, and then you could boot. And I used to play all kinds of games, sometimes in a window. I was playing a flight simulator once while downloading stuff from a BBS. Try doing that in Windows. You couldn't do that in Windows NT. I don't think you can do it in Windows now, but OS2 did it no problem. And OS2 was a great OS. It was a horrible install, but I found this interesting. I just wanted to share it. I know it's Saturday. It's today's, and I'm trying. My target is to do 2:00 every single day, and I don't know if I'm going to make it Eastern. I don't know if I'm going to make it today, but that's going to be my target going forward. I've tried 12. I've tried 1. I've tried 4 videos a day. Noon is, it kind of works. 1 o'clock is okay, but I think 2 is a little bit better. So anyway, so check out Phil's Computer Lab, his channel. He's got a bunch of other stuff. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and subscribe because I'm going to check out a bunch of other stuff. I didn't even think about that until now. I'll have a link to this Universal ISA. Now he says ISA, but the cards he shows, and I'm sure someone's corrected him. Let's go back. No, that went too far back. But anyway, these are all EISA cards. They all have the 16-bit extender. Some of them have more leads than others, like this one barely has any. So some of these are could probably work in a straight ISA. That might be for, extra voices or faster memory, and that's it. This one almost looks like it's just a spacer. Can I make that bigger? Oh no, there's leads on the back side. So you can see different manufacturers. These are similar. This one looks like 5 leads, only has 2, but that one only has 5 total, and it could just be for a faster memory. And now these are probably at various stages too. This one looks like it also has a connector for CD drive, for a ribbon cable for sound, to play music through the sound card. You used to have to do that. And then by the time eventually EISA, the machine that I actually do some Linux stuff on, that motherboard, which is, good grief, I don't even know how old it is, but it has a Core 2. It has a Q6600 on it. So it's a Pentium 4 motherboard. That one didn't need it. It would just work through the IDE. It is. Yeah, it says ISA IDE connection. You didn't have to have this separate thing, but at one time you used to have one. This might be a game controller connector. It's kind of hard to tell. This one's got was that a power connection, or 4-pin power connection? It has an option. There's probably a version of this board that has the CD, or they were starting to not use it, but they hadn't redesigned the board, but just got rid of other things. You also had to use to set these jumpers. See, that's probably a game port controller. That's what is probably here. This would be a joystick. It is odd that you would do that through the sound card, but a lot of them did. Some of them had other control things that you could hook to that. So here you have, none of these are digital. And that's what digital. That's digital. This is red, left and right. This is right. That's probably left. That's probably a digital connection. I think this one eventually became orange on a lot of cards. But they all a lot of these have integrated game ports. And then this one's looks like it has memory on the back end. I'm not sure what those orange bands are for. But probably they're probably just SIMs. I don't think they're DIMMs. It's probably just single inline memory module. But anyway, I digress. But this was pretty fascinating. This is interesting that they have separate connections here that are same colors. Huh. Anyway, it's interesting looking at these old boards, and eventually sound cards were practically a sound chip. I mean, the last sound card I bought was, it used PCI Express 1X slot, so the connector's only about that big, and the card's about that. I mean, I think it's half the length of this one. And you can see here, this card is probably later. This is probably a newer amongst this all. My guess is this one and this one are the oldest ones. Maybe, yeah, because this has the CD. This is still the full length, but a lot of integrated circuitry here. There's fewer resistors and things, and this having memory that eventually got integrated into just online chips. This is probably one of the last ones. And this one's similar. Instead of making it sloped like this, they made it half height because that's all they needed, and they just needed to get to the connectors on the back end here. But as far as space on the card, you didn't need all that. Now, granted, I don't know what all these are. I don't know if some of these, it's hard to tell. Can't really zoom in anymore, on the video itself. But you'd get some cards with 4 voices, 8 voices, 16 voices. Some had full FM sound synthesis and all that other stuff. They would be larger, but eventually these things they got very large scale integration all the way down to hardly anything at all over time. And that was good. So check it out. And let me know what you think of this stuff. And if you'd like to see me do some more retro computing, let me know what the kind of things that would go along with Channel Dad. I mean, I've covered some older languages. I think I'm going to cover some more. Why did I vote this down? I don't know why. I must have been in a pissed off mood. Sorry about that. And check out Phil's Computer Lab channel. And it brings back memories. I do. And sometimes these things will work fine in Linux because they still have drivers for them, but not always. So there you go. All right. So thanks everybody. Thanks so much for stopping by. And I know it's just a little bit more computing. I've been all, channel Dad Bryon Lape. Lape TV is about things that I'm interested in. It's not just one topic. So we talk about pop culture. We talk about health. I mean, when I cannot wait for the gym to open. I am just sick of being at home trying to work out. Walking the dogs in the afternoon's nice, and I'm tired of working from home. It's well past time to get back to work and get going and let everything run its course. And that's how we'll get immunity. But I do beer reviews. I do beer making because I actually make beer and all that, supplement reviews and all that stuff. So it's a mishmash of everything that's interesting to me. But hey, if you'd like to know some, have me dig out some stuff, we'll do something. And let me know. Thanks. And we will see you. Goodbye.